Sandhya from ET. So just want to get a sense, given this background with what's happening in Israel, what is the status of IMEC, and do you think that will be impacted in any way now? Thank you.
IMEC. Okay, if there are no other questions on this topic, you have a follow-up? You already asked a question, yeah. You normally have one. Yeah, microphone please, without microphone.
Just a follow-up only, considering what would India's position be as US has reiterated to Israel that they must follow laws of the war, and what is India's position on that? Because as we all know, Gaza Strip is now being...
I just answered the question, but I'll repeat
blockaded.
that. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. You can't think of a question later. Please go ahead.
Sir, Shalandra News9 से एक क्लैरिफिकेशन, क्या हम इसको इवैक्यूएशन बोल रहे हैं या नहीं, क्योंकि ट्वीट में भी हमने देखा कि इवैक्यूएशन इज नॉट मेंशन्ड, इट्स बीइंग सेड कि उनको फैसिलिटेट किया जा रहा है वहाँ से रिटर्न करना चाहते हैं उनके लिए, क्योंकि एयर स्पेस अभी बंद नहीं हुआ है। दूसरा ये कि एक सवाल, जो गाज़ा में एक कश्मीरी लेडी हैं जो फंसी हुई हैं, उनके हस्बैंड पैलेस्टीनियन हैं, ये केस आपके नॉलेज में होगा, उनके रिटर्न के लिए, क्योंकि आपने कहा कि करीब 12 के आसपास वेस्ट बैंक में है और 4 के आसपास गाज़ा में है, उनके रिटर्न के लिए कोई प्लान अभी है या उनको वहाँ से निकालने का अभी कोई ऐसा कोई ऑपरेशन अजय भी चलाया जाएगा?
Okay. Let me just take Milan, on your question, let me repeat what I just said. No, I think that sums up as I said. We do believe there is an international, universal obligation to observe international humanitarian law. And there is also a global responsibility to fight the menace of terrorism in all its forms and manifestation. I think that addresses your query. I don't want to repeat it again. शैलेंद्र, आपका प्रश्न था नहीं, आप किसने हिंदी में किसने पूछा था? आप नहीं, नधुरेंद्र, सॉरी, आपने पूछा था हिंदी पे। देखिए, हमारी जो पॉलिसी रही है वो हमेशा लॉन्ग स्टैंडिंग रही है, कंसिस्टेंट भी रही है। भारत ने हमेशा कहा है कि डायरेक्ट नेगोशिएशंस किया जाए, उनकी शुरुआत फिर से करें, उसका समर्थन किया है, जो कि इजराइल के साथ ऐसा, ताकि इजराइल के साथ शांति से सुरक्षित और रिकग्नाइज सीमाओं के भीतर रहने वाले एक संप्रभु, स्वतंत्र और वायबल पैलेस्टीनियन स्टेट का स्थापना करेगा। आप चाहते थे हिंदी में। और Madhurima, you had asked about how is India connecting. Look, in the world of diplomacy, we are always engaged in conversations and contacts. At the External Affairs Minister level, as you correctly mentioned, he had put out. Whenever there's some specific engagement that takes place, we will certainly share with you. But of course, we maintain close contacts, and we have been at various levels with all relevant stakeholders. And I think that's part of our diplomatic outreach. Sandhya, your query was on IMEC, was it? Yeah. I think you are comparing apples and oranges in terms of the current one. Look, the issues of, let's say, the IMEC, the initiative like that, these are initiatives with long-term significance. And what you're talking about in terms of what we're addressing in terms of, let's say, Operation Ajay, is a response to a terrorist attack and what we have to do. So I think those are not comparable. We value the IMEC as an initiative with long-term significance. I think एक शैलेंद्र, आपका प्रश्न था इवैक्यूएशन क्या है, पता नहीं आप इस नॉमेनक्लेचर से क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है। हमारे लिए फोकस इससे है कि किस तरह से भारतीय नागरिक जो वहाँ पे हैं उनको वापस ला पाए, जो आना चाहते हैं। गाज़ा में आपने जिक्र किया, हैं हमारे 3 या 4 सिटीजन्स हैं, हम उनके साथ संपर्क में हैं, पर अभी जो इसकी कंस्ट्रेंट्स है उसमें दिक्कत है उनको कोई डायरेक्टली निकालने का, पर हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो भी सोल्यूशन हो सके उसमें हम जितना मदद कर सकें हम करेंगे। Moving on to other topics, anybody else has second round question? नहीं, हाँ? मधु, आपने पूछा तो था? हाँ, सॉरी, आपका स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर के तौर पे। देखिए, मैं आपको गलत प्रश्न पूछने, उन्होंने कुछ मांगा है हमसे, ऐसा कोई मुझे तो मालूम नहीं है। नहीं, जितना मैंने कह दिया, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहना था उन्होंने अपने ट्वीट में कह दिया है, उनका प्रेस रिलीज भी निकला है, उसके आगे मैं कुछ कह नहीं पाऊँगा, और मुझे ऐसा कुछ मालूम नहीं उन्होंने कोई स्पेसिफिक रिक्वेस्ट की है हमें। अदर टॉपिक्स फॉर रीसेट? नो, आई टेल Sudhi, he hasn't asked a question. Go ahead, Sudhi.
Sir, Shudhiranjan from Bloomberg. Sir, moving away from Israel and the Gaza, on Canada, sir, there have been reports that the External Affairs Minister had met his Canadian counterpart. Now, can you give us a confirmation or a denial on that? And also...
denial also come with you.
A denial or a confirmation
good.
or any details of the meeting, whatever is possible. Sir.
Fair enough.
And also, adding to that, the speaker, Canadian speaker, was absent at the G20 parliamentary G20 lawmakers meet. Now, is India seeing this as a continuation of the spat between India and Canada, or is it seeing it separately, as a separate incident?
Okay. Yes.
This is Vinita Pandey from the Asian East Deccan Chronicle. Arindam, my question is, what is the update on the Canadian diplomat staff here? Given that India had asked for parity in ranks and numbers, is there any update on that?
Okay. Let me maybe take all the Canadian ones together. Anything else? Canada, no, before that. Somebody else didn't ask? No, all of you asked a question. So second round, okay, quick. Normally we had one question, but today I know the multiple topics.
So Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. So Canadian Prime Minister, while discussing this Israel-Hamas situation with some of his leaders, he brought up the issue of India. He said the diplomatic spat, and also your comment on that, his discussion with Jordan and UAE ministers.
Okay. Yeah, Madhurima.
Sir, I wanted to ask that if Canadian diplomats who were supposed to leave, have they left or not? Because Canadian reports are suggesting that there has been an understanding between the two countries and that they'll not
Same question of Vinita, no?
Yeah. And an extension to that, that Trudeau has been tweeting that while speaking to the world leaders, he's also talking about India to them. How does MEA respond?
Yeah. Same question. Ayushi just asked this. You've not been following Ayushi. Okay. Yeah, Yashi.
Is any Canadian parliamentarian coming for the P20?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, with the print, just wanted to clarify some claims that came in a Financial Times report recently that said EM met Canadian...
First question by Sudhi already.
Sorry.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Manush.
Manas from PTI. The reports from Canada actually indicated that Canadian foreign ministry is suggesting, actually questioning India's argument on parity of diplomatic presence, saying that no such provision exists under the Vienna Convention. So what do you have to say on that?
Fair enough. Nothing else? Okay. Let me just try to answer. I think there are 2 or 3 types of questions. Let me start with the basic one, the parity one. We've spoken about parity here earlier, a couple of times, I think. Let me stress that we remain committed to what we said, that is, ensuring parity in our diplomatic presence. We remain engaged with Canadian authorities on the modalities of achieving that. And when we have something specific to share, we will certainly do so. For the moment, let me just emphasize that we are engaged with the Canadian authorities to ensure the parity that we mentioned. There was a related question on Prime Minister Trudeau having raised this with other leaders. Look, I don't know really how this helps address the core issue. And what is the core issue? That space given by Canada to terrorists and criminal elements. And as regards upholding international conventions, that came up in that conversation, some of them, as well as I think Manash's query, we would urge Canada to take more seriously their international obligations to provide security to our diplomats and their premises. From our part, I can assure you that everything India is doing is in compliance with the Vienna Conventions on diplomatic relations. So I think, Manish, that was a specific query you had. As for the query about reports of meeting between External Affairs Minister and his Canadian counterpart, let me say that we have been in touch with the Canadians at various levels. Regarding any specific interaction, I don't have any particular information to share. I think that probably covers Yashi, your question about Canadian Parliament, or if anybody else is coming. We invite all members for G20 events, in this case the P20. Participation is their decision and is subject to a number of factors. I think you should ask them. I'll have to check whether anybody is actually attending from Canada, because I think the Parliament Speaker could not attend. Okay, any other topics, or should I close? Anything? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, we'll come back to you. Give me a quickly, we'll wrap up.
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. There are reports coming in, that there are discussions going on between India and Russia for the annual summit. Any update on that?
What you mean about the summit?
Yes.
Okay.
If it will happen.
Yeah. You have to take a seat. I can't see you there. Yeah, go ahead. Vedika, yeah, go ahead.
Vedika from CNN. Just a question on whether visas are being processed for Pakistani nationals to attend the match on Saturday, India versus Pakistan.
You mean as players? They're here?
No, I'm talking about visitors. If they are being
Fans.
Yeah, fans
Okay.
from Pakistan. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Microphone to you. क्या क्वेश्चन है आपका?
So, Urvashi Kona from the New Indian. You spoke about the Canadian speaker not coming, but what was the reason that has been specified?
I answered
because, it is a U-turn that has been taken. They at first confirmed it and then later on they have just not.
You just walked in, so you missed part of it. I'll repeat the answer for you. Yeah.
सर संदीप फ्रॉम न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया. सर इंडिया और चाइना के बीच जो कोर कमांडर लेवल टॉक्स हुए थे 20 का टॉक्स था सर, वो भी बिना किसी कंसेंसस के रह गया. क्या वजह है, क्यों नहीं कंसेंसस बन पा रही है? 20 बार वार्ता हो चुकी है.
Okay, I think we'll close. You have something else? Third question. Okay, anyway, go ahead, quick. China. Okay.
सर मधुरेंद्र न्यूज़ नेशन से. चीन और भूटान खासतौर पे अपनी बाउंड्री की इश्यूज को सेटल कर रहे हैं और जो रिपोर्ट्स है उसके मुताबिक डोकलाम जी से लेकर काफ़ी विवाद हुआ था, उसका भी सेटलमेंट किया जा रहा है. क्या इस बाउंड्री सेटलमेंट पर भारत की नज़र है, और अगर है तो हम कैसे इसको देख रहे हैं अपने स्टेट?
मतलब जनरल कमेंट चाहिए मुझसे. Okay, let me take. Look, Vedika, on your question on visas, general visas are, not handled. We are not the right ministry, and I would refer you to the relevant authorities for that. I won't have any update. Urvashi, your query was on what? The last part about Canada speaker. Let me just address that because I just said, look, we invite all leaders, all countries to participate, and same was done for the Parliament 20 that is going on. Participation is their decision, and there are usually a number of factors that go into that. So I would request you to ask the Canadian side on it. Huma, your query was on the issue of something about, you said, no, in the context you said whether, what was the query? That is it happening or not happening? That kind of thing. Okay. Look, as you know, for these kind of high-level interactions, we announce these things at the appropriate time. I have no update, to be honest. I saw some reports based on what our ambassador in Moscow said. I think he wasn't quoted accurately. I don't think there's an immediate date or plans for that. But when we have anything to share with you, we'll certainly do that. संदीप जी, आपका प्रश्न था कि हमारा चीन के साथ जो वार्ता चल रही है उसमें क्यों नहीं हो रहा है सक्सेस. नहीं, हम भी चाहते हैं, इसीलिए तो बात कर रहे हैं ताकि कोई सक्सेसफुल सोल्यूशन हो. मैं नहीं कहूँगा कंसेंसस नहीं है, हमारी तरफ से आता है. जो हमने कहा है उस प्रेस रिलीज़ में हमारा क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है और हम किस तरह से आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं इसको. आपने अगर देखा होगा मेरे पास यहाँ पे है ये जो 20वीं राउंड अभी वार्ता हुई थी कोर कमांडर लेवल पे, और हमने जैसा कहा है कि इस पे बातचीत हुई और बाकी इश्यूज़ पे जैसे हमारे लीडर्स की तरफ से जो गाइडेंस था उसके बेसिस पे हम लोग आगे बातचीत करते रहेंगे. और इसमें की मोमेंटम जो है डायलॉग और नेगोशिएशंस का इससे भी हम आगे बढ़ाते रहेंगे. और बीच इसके अंतराल में पीस और ट्रैंक्विलिटी जो है बहरहाल उसको रखना चाहिए. अगर बहुत आसान होता तो सॉल्व हो जाता. मुद्दे काफ़ी हैं, इसीलिए वार्तालाप चल रही है और हमारी कोशिश यही रहेगी कि हम इस पे कोई सोल्यूशन निकाल पाए. मधुरेंद्र जी, आपका प्रश्न था, आप कोई मीडिया रिपोर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं जिससे उसके बारे में बात कर रही हैं जनरली. मैं सिर्फ इतना कहूँगा इसमें कि देखिए सरकार सभी इस सब मुद्दों पर लगातार नज़र रखती है और भारत की सुरक्षा के प्रभावित करने वाली कोई भी इशू हो, इसकी जो सुरक्षा इसके लिए सेफगार्ड कोई मेजर लेना हो, ये पूरी तरह लेती है. और मैं ये भी कहना चाहूँगा भूटान के संदर्भ में कि भारत और भूटान के बीच बहुत करीबी और विशिष्ट संबंध है और जो इनके बीच विश्वास, आपसी समझ और आपसी चिंता के मुद्दों पर क्लोज कंसल्टेशन रहता है, ये इसकी विशेषता है. तो मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा आगे और कुछ है नहीं मेरे पास इस टॉपिक पे. Thank you very much. You have something on a follow-up? Otherwise, I'm going to close. Tell me. Quickly, last one. Yashi?
Is UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak likely to come to
That's
India?
not a worth question for the last one. When we have something to share with you on a high level visit, we'll certainly do so. Thank you. Good afternoon.